Hi guys. Okay, we've already picked our dandelions and I showed you what they looked like and how to identify them when you're picking them. So what you've done once you've picked them is put them into a little tray like this. You could just use like a baking tray or something. I have a lot of these little flat boxes, so I tend to use those, lined with some kitchen paper, and leave it somewhere to dry out. Now that could be a sunny window. That would work. What I do is I put them in my hot press because it kind of speeds it up a little bit, and I usually leave them there for about a week. You might find in a couple of days that they'll be dry enough for you to use, but I would leave them until they are absolutely bone dry. For the purpose of making an infused oil, you need it to be bone dry. So they're the ones that I've just picked. These are the ones that are now dry. So what we've got here is bone dry dandelion flowers. I hope you can see them okay. You do not want to feel any dampness at all in these flowers. They need to be bone dry, because if you're going to make an infused oil and you put flowers that have any bit of wet or damp in them at all, what happens is your oil will go rancid. And you lose the whole thing, you won't be able to use it. So you want really, really dry flowers, okay? Then what you need is you need a jar. I'm using a big Kilner jar today, but a jam jar will work just as well. I will be using a lot of dandelion infused oil over the coming month. I will be making a soap, which will be a limited edition soap, and I will be selling it for Pieta House to raise funds for Pieta House. I will also be making my Yankee Doodle dandelion balm with it, which I've made for the past couple of years, and I have made that again as a limited edition for Pieta House. But this year it's only going to be available as part of my subscription box offering. So I will be using quite a bit of dandelion infused oil over the next few weeks. So that's what you've got. My jar is near enough half full with dandelions. Now when you're making an infused oil, you have a couple of options as to what oil you can use. You could use a sunflower oil, which is what I use, an organic sunflower oil. You could use grapeseed oil. You could use an olive oil if you wanted. Olive oil tends to be quite a strong oil though, so I prefer to use an oil that is not very strong in flavour or scent. You could use sweet almond oil. I find organic sunflower oil works the best because it's a light oil. It takes on all the properties of anything that you put into it, and it just works really well for me. So I use an organic sunflower oil. Now obviously I get it in bulk from my suppliers, but you will get an organic sunflower oil in the supermarket. And if you're going to be using it on yourself, it's best to pay a little bit extra and get the organic one. So what you want to do then is, when you have your flowers in your jar, you want to top your jar right up to the top. Now, as I said, I'm making it this size because I will be using it. If you're making it to use at home, a small jam jar or, you know, a mayonnaise jar or something like that, once it's been cleaned out, will be perfectly fine. You don't need to be making probably this amount of oil. And what I do is I give it a little stir, just using an old chopstick, just to get all the air bubbles out. So what you're doing really is you're making sure all the flowers are coated in oil, and you're just pushing all the air bubbles to the surface. Already it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So as I said, I'll be using this to make soap and to make my dandelion balm, but you could use it yourself at home to make, you could use it just as an infused oil directly on your skin. Dandelions are full of really great properties for your skin and for taking internally as well. Now, that looks like all of the bubbles are up to the top. I'm going to put that aside, give it a little tap, get the last few bubbles out and seal it up. And there you have it. Gorgeous looking oil. That's going to look really cool in your kitchen window or your bedroom window, isn't it? What I do then is I put it on a sunny windowsill, which in my house is my bedroom window. It's the biggest windowsill, so that will go on the bedroom window. On a nice day like today, it can sit outside in the kitchen or in the garden. this is a solar infused oil, so you're wanting it to take on all the properties of the sun. You want the sun to heat it up, and then all the goodness from the dandelions to seep out into the oil. As I was saying there, you can use the dandelion infused oil directly on your skin. It's a really good anti-inflammatory oil, so if you suffer, or you know somebody who suffers with skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis, using a dandelion infused oil is really soothing on the skin. You could also use it to make a little balm or a hand cream, something like that, which I will talk about at another stage. But for now, you just want to get your oil infusing. And you leave it in a lovely sunny window or outside on your windowsill outside for around about, depending on the weather. If the weather is sunny like this and it's gorgeous, a couple of weeks would do it. In the summertime, I tend to leave my infused oils for about 2 or 3 weeks. In the wintertime, they could be sitting there for 2 or 3 months because we wouldn't be getting as much sun. But you'll see the colour of the oil changing as it takes on the dandelions. And when it's a really deep yellow colour, you know you're good to go. And what you do then is you strain it. So you get yourself a really fine mesh sieve, or you can just line your standard kitchen sieve with some muslin or a really clean, like a tea towel, but not a heavily woven one. You want something that will allow the oil to run through it. I have a very fine mesh sieve, so I just use that. I don't use anything extra. But you could line it with some muslin either. And you strain it out, and then you bottle up your gorgeous yellow dandelion oil until you decide what you're going to do with it. But that's it. That's the dandelion oil. The other thing that's really important is to remember to label it. So you've got organic sunflower oil. You've got dandelions in there, and then you put today's date, which I haven't a clue. I will have to look at the calendar. And you put that on your jar so that you know, because if you're doing a few different ones, you'll forget. It's the 10th. Thank you to my lovely assistant Ella.
Hello.
For the 10th of April 20. And then when you have that strained and you're rebottling it up again, you put all those details on the new bottle, and also the date of when you strained it as well, so you know how long you left it for, because you won't remember if you're doing a few different ones. But that's it. That is how to make a really simple dandelion infused oil. You could do this exact same method with a lot of different flowers, things like calendula, if you've got scented geraniums in your garden, rose. There's any amount of different ones that you could do an infused oil for. And what you have is an oil that takes on the properties then of those flowers that you use. They won't be as strong as using an essential oil, but you will get a lot of the properties of the flower going into your oil. And that's it. Now, the other thing that you could use this for as well is as a salad dressing. A dandelion infused oil, mix it with some vinegar, salt and pepper, and you have a gorgeous dressing for a salad, for summer salad as well. Dandelions are edible. The flower, the leaf, the root are completely edible, so it would make a really nice salad dressing oil as well. That's it, folks. Really simple solar infused flower oil using dandelions today. Give it a go. Lots of dandelions out there at the moment. Talk to you all soon. Bye bye.